Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
What up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another episode of the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct, man, here on a Thursday night, man. And love that you're here. Love seeing that you're here, man. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share the channel. Make sure you share our channel tonight, man. Hey, man, we got a lot to get into when it comes to the world of sports, man. But before we get into the world of sports, man, hey, let's meet the crew. D-Dubs, what's up tonight? How are you tonight, sir?
Yo, what's up? I'm good, man. How you doing? Sports Chasers Podcast Thursday night, man. Here for another one.
That's right. We are here. We ain't going nowhere, man. Hey, we got the hockey dude is back because it's hockey season, but he's always here. Dan, what's up, brother? How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
Man, I'm good, man.
Good, man.
I'm good.
Like your energy.
Yeah. Love your energy, bro. Love your energy, man. Love your energy, man. Like I said, we got a lot to get into when it comes to the world. I was going to say hockey, yeah, hockey too, but also the world of sports, man. Major League Baseball, the Divisional Series is going on. The Tigers and looks like the Indians are tied at 2. That's been a good series. The Mets, man, the Mets are amazing. They're on an amazing ride. They beat the Phillies last night 4-1. They won that series 3-1. They go on to the National League Championship Series.
Got them out of here.
My Yankees, and me and D's Yankees, D-Dub's Yankees, they're up 2-1. They closed out tonight in Kansas City. We'll see what's going on with that. And what's the other series? The series that y'all need to be watching, like I told you, the
Dodgers.
The Dodgers and the San Diego Padres, boy, I tell you, man, that's
a good one.
That's a good one, and a lot of hate going on teams. Those teams generally do not like each other. They don't. So it is what it is when it comes to that, man. Like I said, let me read this call to action real quick. Hey, Chasers family, as you can see, the big sign, as I call it, behind me is lit up for pink for the month of October, showing our support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Is a crucial time to spread awareness and encourage every detection. We're dedicating this month to honor survivors, fighters, and those that have lost to the battle. Let's all do our part, whether it's scheduling your screening, donating to research, or simply wearing pink. Every effort makes a difference in this fight. So make sure it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and make sure you do what you got to do concerning that. Also, for the people, Hurricane Milton just passed through Florida, and I've done a lot of destruction, came across as a Category 3. And, hey, just pray for those people, man. And if you want to donate your time or whatever, make sure you donate to the right cause for that. And I'll say that. Also, my third one, listen, we're about 65 now, 65 people subscribers from 3,000. Let me just read that. All right, Chasers Nation, we are so close to this big milestone. We are 65 now away from hitting 3,000 on our YouTube channel. If you've been enjoying our content, now is the time to help us reach that goal. Hit that subscribe button. Share this channel with your friends, your fam, and join the Chasers community. Let's make this happen together, and let's keep on chasing sports, man. So I got all that out the way. Hey, man, it's we're gonna talk about a little hockey, man. Hockey is back. Dan is trolling the Toronto Maple Leafs once again. He's got this Maple Leafs gear on, and
doing it again, huh? Oh boy, Dan.
Yeah, shout out to all those in the comments. Shout out to Debbie. Shout out to all those on the YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. What else? We're on X, Instagram. We're live on Instagram. All the things that we can be on, we on it. And we thank you. And we thank you for the comments too, man. Shout out to D-Dubs. Who was the guy who
I don't know. He challenged us, man. He said, yo, get your green screen right.
He said, hey,
shout out to him.
Shout out to my main man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. We're always striving to get better. So yeah, if y'all see something, I remember it was a couple months ago, and one of the guys says, I can't even take you seriously. You didn't even spell Caitlin's name right. And he was right. We spelled it Caitlyn, and Caitlin Clark's name is spelled Caitlin. So what did we do, Dan? We fixed it. So he's right. The man's right. If you want us to take it seriously, if this is what y'all say y'all doing, let's fix it. So without further ado, let's bring on the hockey guy, Dan. Our Rangers, they rolled you last night. 6.
Yes, they did. Woo!
Steamroll.
Bro. I will say this. I still love TNT. And in between periods, they were doing their little, it was Gretzky, Biz, Liam, Hank, and Carter. Gretzky's over there with a toothpick, and he said, who was Dusty Baker? Came by and he said, Dusty came by and gave me a toothpick. Said I need to go watch the baseball game. That's how bad that game was. We gave up so many odd man breaks, it wasn't even funny. And like the first 10 minutes, we were all over you guys, and your guy that turned down $88 million stoned us.
Yeah, he showed them that he's worth that money. He worth the money.
You think he's worth that much money now? Wait till he goes this season, and you go up next season. Yeah. He can get paid like Draisaitl.
Yeah, for sure.
But we just getting started. It's like kind of like the football season. Like when it first started, the first couple of weeks, 3 weeks, you really don't know, what your football teams are going to be like.
Yeah, this
is kind of the same thing, but they play more games. So usually within like the first 10 games of the season, you'll have a pretty good idea that whether your team's going to be good or you're going for a draft pick. But so like, what was it? Tuesday, I think it was opening night. And I have no idea why the West Coast team had the early game. That had to have been a 1:30 game in Seattle.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
Crazy. That was crazy. But
I get it. You want the prime spot because you had Boston playing Florida, a rematch from the playoffs last year, and that game didn't disappoint. Ooh.
Yeah,
that game was very physical. It was almost playoff-esque, but Florida pretty much rolled them in that game.
Florida did handle business, man. They look
they miss a beat.
They picked up right where they left off at.
And I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. Because kind of what I was going to do, there's not enough time to go through all 32 teams, and we already know there's a handful of teams that are in rebuild that probably aren't going to make the playoffs. We could talk about them later. So anybody in the comments, if your team doesn't get mentioned, by all means, shoot us an email, make a comment. We can talk about your team at a later date. Maybe we'll do something over the next week or weekend, Kevin, where we just do like a standalone.
Correct. Yes.
And kind of break down all the teams. But life at the adult day center's been a little hectic, so couldn't really, really couldn't get that done. But we'll start off with Boston. So, like I said, they played Florida the other night. So, the way I kind of thought about this was kind of like who'd they add, who'd they lose, and how do we think they're going to do? So for them, they added Elias Lindholm. I believe that was its trade last year. They have Nikita Zadorov, Jonas Korpisalo, the goaltender, which that was odd in the Florida game that they just signed the goalie to Swayman to big bucks, multi-year contract, and they led the initial game of the year with the backup goalie. But whatever. But they added Max Jones and a couple other guys. But they lost Linus Ullmark. He went to Ottawa. They lost Jake DeBrusk. He went to Vancouver. Shattenkirk, they didn't re-sign. Van Riemsdyk, they didn't re-sign. Heinen, he went to Vancouver. Loco, he went to Minnesota. Forbert, he went to Vancouver. And Lucic, he's still an unsigned free agent. And Boquist and Steen is what they lost. Right. And it's, for me, looking at this list of the guys they lost, like that was kind of their strong suit. Like Korpisalo's not a bad goalie, but they legit had 2 number ones in the net. And that's kind of what drove them last year is no matter who they put in net, it was a tough task to beat them. But losing DeBrusk, I think that's he's a gritty player, tough to play against. They lost a couple D-men. They brought in Zadorov. Really, I think, you still have Pasternak, Marchand. It's really how far are those guys going to be able to take them? And injuries, of course, to all teams is going to play a big part in that. But Pasternak's pretty much the guy when it comes to their offense, and Marchand. So we'll see, if anybody that they have in that roster can pick up the scoring. Because I'm looking they got Geeky, Coyle, Frederick's more of your tough guy. They still got McAvoy. They got a good defense. That's the one thing that helps them out is they're real strong in the back end. Mm. But they'll probably win that division or, probably, second in that division. Maybe, I think Florida's going to take that division. So, yeah, it'll at least be second or third.
They didn't miss a beat, bro. They clearly did not miss a beat.
Well, like I said, we'll see how the goaltending pans out for them.
Right.
And then we're going to move on to the Carolina Hurricanes. They picked up Sean Walker, defenseman. He's a solid defenseman. They got Gostisbehere, his D, a good, offensive defenseman. They pick up Roslovic, William Carrier, and Tyson Jost. They're good players, role players, and, they're pretty much set up front. They did, have the rental with Getzel last year. And, of course, he left. He went to Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. Kind of where they lost, a little bit was, I would say, on the back end because they lost Brady Shea to Nashville and Brett Pesce went to Jersey. But that's the one thing with Carolina. Their farm system has a lot of good D. But they also lost Teravainen. Kuznetsov went back to the KHL. And Nosen, he left and he went to New Jersey. But like I said, they got they gave the young Russian kid, Coach Kachekov, I think it is. He made the starting, or he made the team, and you got Anderson as your number one goalie, and they're pretty solid. I think they're going to have another good year. They'll make the playoffs. They'll probably be one of those upper teams because I believe they're in the Metro. Nope. Yep. Right. Yeah, because I think the Rangers, Carolina, I'm on the fence about New Jersey, but those are the two that really stand out. I don't think Philly is going to be that great. Washington, the way Pittsburgh's playing, probably not either. Columbus, they had that tragedy. We'll see how they come out. I think this year it might be a heavy Atlantic teams in the postseason in the Eastern Conference. Because right now they got a lot of solid teams. But I think, it's going to be Carolina and the Rangers 1-2, depending, how things go. And then we got Colorado, the Avalanche. Let's see here. I'm just looking at these, and I'm kind of just like
perplexed, man.
Well, a lot of these people I don't even know who they are. I'm going to be honest. Brandstrom, a defenseman. Klingington, a defenseman. Parker Kelly, a left wing. Calvin DeHaan, a defenseman. I know who he is. McDonald, a defenseman. Mandalise, a goaltender. Tynan, Phillips, and Callie Rosen is who they brought in. But they lost Sean. Yeah, because they lost a lot. They lost a lot. Sean Walker, Yakov Trenin, Zach Parise, Andrew Cogliano, Jack Johnson, Brandon Duhane, Caleb Jones. I mean,
it's tough to come back from, huh?
I mean, you got to think it's very hard with the salary cap, especially in the NHL when you got to field 21 players a game.
Right.
And, they still have a solid, they still Druin, McKinnon, Rantanen is their first line, Lehkonen, Middlestat, and Kovalenko is their second line, and then third and fourth line, but they still have Taves and Makar on defense, Gerard and Manson, and then the two young kids. It looks like Brandstrom and Klingington is their third pair. But they got Gorgiev is their goaltender, and then Anunin. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I'm not sure. But that's this. I think they'll be competitive, but they'll probably make the playoffs too. But as far as like a serious contender, right. I wouldn't right now looking at that roster, I'm not putting them to go to the finals. And then we'll move along.
You're not putting no money on it.
No, what was it? They played last night. I'm pretty sure it was last night. Yeah, they got beat 8-4 by Vegas. Dang. No, you wanted to make fun of the Penguins getting rolled. Edmonton lost 6-0 to Winnipeg.
I saw that last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, you can't put a lot of faith and determine what the team's going to be after just one game.
Very early.
Yeah, it's early.
80 games, right? They play hockey.
82.
82, right?
Yeah.
No load management.
Nope. No management.
Okay. Sorry.
Legit injuries.
Just saying.
I'm with you on that.
Go ahead, Dan.
But so when you asked me about a couple sleeper teams, this team's not really a sleeper, but I think this might be a team that's going to be very, very competitive. They picked up Lyubushkin, a defenseman. They picked up Matt Dumba as a defenseman. Casey DeSmith, the goaltender. Brendan Smith, another defenseman. Colin Blackwell, and then Magnus Hellberg, a goaltender. And they lost. Pavelski retired.
Right.
Chris Tanev, he went to Toronto. Ryan Suter, he went to St. Louis. They lost Faska to St. Louis. Yanni Hackapa, he went to Toronto. And then Craig Smith and Wedgwood. But what they lost and what they replaced, I don't know, because they still have a very good top nine. I'd even maybe go the top. All four lines forward wise are very good. They got Ottinger, which he was one of the better goaltenders last year in the league, and their defense is pretty rock solid. So they won the Central last year.
Correct.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they do it again.
Right.
Then we'll go to Edmonton. They were second in the Pacific last year. After that god awful start that they had, would they lose 16? Or they lost an ungodly amount of games at the beginning of the season. Then they went on that tear of 16 or 17 straight.
Edmonton reminds me of the New York Mets.
Same colors.
Same colors, right?
That's true. Right?
You Mets fans, remember? The Mets were awful, god awful in April and May, and it was they was talking about selling off real quick. And as you can see, and I said it in the beginning in my opening about how the Mets have pretty much turned things around. Now they're going into the league championship game against the winner of the Dodgers and the Padres series, man. But that's what the Mets remind me of the Oilers of last year. And I think the Oilers, like you said, they ran out of gas. And
Well, they played a much physical
Yeah.
physical team than they are.
Right. So, but go ahead.
But like they picked up Jeff Skinner. They got Victor Arvidsson and a couple other dudes. But they lost McLeod. They lost Warren Fogle. They lost Cody Cece, the goalie Jack Campbell.
Right.
Desjardins, the defenseman. And then the interesting one, Sam Carrick, he left from Edmonton. Now he's playing with your Rangers. He scored the opening goal the other night.
Yes, he did.
But I don't know if you remember in the offseason, St. Louis made a couple of trades, and it was just for picks. And the way it worked out is I think they got a second, and then they got a third in two different trades, I think. But the reason why they did that is because they used the one thing that is very, very rarely used in the NHL, and that's the offer sheet. So a restricted free agent, teams can put in an offer sheet on them. And if the team doesn't match, then they get that player, and the compensation is draft picks. And that's what they needed, a second and a third, that they could do this. So St. Louis put in offer sheets on Broberg and Dylan Holloway. And Edmonton didn't match it. So they lost both of those guys. But looking over their lineup, they got Skinner and Pickard, which Skinner played really well after the mid-season point, or after it was like they fired the coach, and then they started playing good again.
Yeah.
But they're kind of they're almost following this model. They got a bunch of high price guys. I mean, obviously you got to pay McDavid the money. Draisaitl got his money this year,
right?
And then you got Nurse on the back end getting a chunk. And in the way Hyman played last year, I'm not sure how many years he has left on his current deal, but he's going to get paid. But like they have a solid team, and I think they're not going to have the same start to the season they did last year, and they'll be in the mix throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
And with them, it's like Toronto. How's their goaltending going to play? And how's the D going to play in front of them to limit that? Because, that's been their nemesis. They've got the talent up front. If you watch the Calgary series, I think it was 2 years ago, they were all like 6-5 games.
Yeah.
Who could outscore the other one?
Who can finally outscore the other one? Right, correct. So.
And then, let's see, we'll go to Florida next. This one, to me, like, I don't know how they did this, but somehow they managed to pull it off and, like, lock up their core. Like, I saw a post where Barkov, Tkachuk, Verhaeghe, Reinhart, Forsling, and Lundell is, like, their core six.
Mm.
And they have that, like, they signed them to, like, Verhaeghe signed, I think, an 8-year deal. But they got all these guys for like 46. They got 6 of their guys for $46 million. And if you look at Toronto, they're paying 4 guys the same amount.
4?
You know what I mean? 4. But that being said, like they lost, or they picked up Nosek, Boquist, Nate Schmidt, Adam Boquist, but like they lost Brandon Montour, their defenseman. Tarasenko was a rental. He went to Detroit. The Stolars, the goaltender, went to Toronto. They lost Nick Cousin, Oposo, Stenlin, Casey Fitzgerald, Steve Lorentz, and Josh Mahara. But I'm looking at this roster. You got Bobrovsky and you got Knight. You got 2 solid goaltenders. Forsling, Ekblad is your top defense pairing. Mikula and Schmidt, and then Kulikov and Boquist is the defensemen. But like their top line, like I watched that game against Boston the other night, and they just head and shoulders, top 12. Top 12 were better than their top 12. Because, I mean, Verhaeghe, Barkov, and Reinhart is their top line. Rodriguez, Bennett, and Tkachuk is their second line. Listerinen, Lundell, and Samsukevich is their third line. And then they got Boquist, the other guy, Boquist. Nosek and Twistle is their third line. And I like I said, they're going to be probably the top team in that division. And obviously, they're the next cup favorite for this year also. Just because they really didn't lose anybody. And they've got their core set. And then, it's a matter of getting to the trade deadline. When someone gets hurt, you can plug and play and bring somebody else in. But yeah, I think that's them and probably Edmonton right now, just before we get into the season on paper, are probably the two from each side, each division or conference that are probably a lot of people would probably pick to be in the finals.
So it's going to be a rematch, you think, between those? Your prediction?
Like looking at it, I think Edmonton will get back just because of the heartbreak and the hunger to get back, knowing they were that close.
Real close.
And then you have the hangover, right? You saw all the pictures online of them taking the cup everywhere and partying and whatnot.
Bro,
not to say that they're not working their asses off now, but you accomplish that. How hungry you are to get back there and win it again, and that's the thing is hard. It's very hard to win back to back.
Always hard.
And then we'll move along here, and I put this team in here because you won the dark horse. This is probably going to be my dark horse.
Go ahead. What you got?
I got the Nashville Predators.
615. Stand up.
I say that because they weren't great last year, but they have probably one of the better goalies in the league. And I'm just looking at their defense group, and I'm like, okay, you got Yossi, Shea, Lauzon, Carrier, Shen, and Stastny. And I'm like, that's a solid six. And going into the key additions, who did they pick up in the offseason? Oh, it's just the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Steven Stamkos.
Right.
Who's probably got a chip on his shoulder because they wouldn't pay him. So he left. Yeah. So now he's gonna be out to prove people wrong.
He's out.
And then who else did they pick up? Oh, Jonathan Marchessault from Vegas. Same situation. They didn't want to pay him. Odd man out. He signs there. He's got a chip on his shoulder. But then you got, like I said, they picked up Brady Shea. Scott Wedgwood is a goalie. They lost Jason Zucker, Anthony Belleve. He went to Pittsburgh. McDonough, he went back to Tampa. So you look at what they lost and what they gained. I think it's a clear-cut winner that they gained a lot better than what they lost. Mm-hmm. And now you got Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist as your top line. Stamkos, Novak, and Marchessault is your second line. And then you got Janikowski, Sisson, and Evangelista is your third line. And then you got Smith, McCarron, and Parsonen is your fourth line. I bet you this team plays really well this year. Just looking at their roster, the type of goaltending they got. And a couple guys are going to have a chip on their shoulder to prove that, they deserved, to be re-signed and make that money. instead of being let go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who. I guess we have to talk about them. The Rags, the Rangers.
Talk about
Come
it.
on, Dan. Give it to us.
Oh, hey, they were first in the Metro last year, and that POS Truba's still playing, which is good because he'll be a liability come playoff time, and that's what we like to see.
Oh, what a hater.
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong. Dude, we won't even get into how dirty he is. But they added Riley Smith that played with the Penguins last year. Maybe it was just not the fit for him in Pittsburgh, and hopefully this is, new scenery, new team. It can't get worse. I mean, you look at the roster he's on. If he gets any power play time or anything like that, man, he's golden. And then they picked up Sam Carrick from Edmonton. And then they had Casey Fitzgerald, the defenseman. You guys lost Wenberg to San Jose. Roslovic went to Carolina. Gustafson, the defenseman, he went to Detroit. Blake Wheeler, he's still not re-signed. And Goudreau went to San Jose. But you still got the main man in net. And if he goes down, you get the second main man in Jonathan Quick. And we all saw what he did last year when he got a chance to play. And, your Jones or your defensive pairings, Lindgren and Fox, Miller and Trouba, Jones and Snyder. That's as good as any top six in the league. Oh, and then I think where your team kind of stands out than most is literally all four lines are good. Like Kreider, Zibanejad, and Smith. Then you got Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere. And that goal that Lafreniere scored the other night was just sick, where he just toe dragged that thing around the defenseman and beat the goalie low.
That was like the first goal, I think. Was it? It was the first goal of the season. No, was it the first or second? I'm not sure. But yeah,
for the Rangers or for him?
Nah, for the Rangers that night.
No. Carrick scored your first.
Yeah. Okay.
But then you got Cooley, Hedel, and Kako, and then fourth line's Vesey, Carrick, and Rempe, which they scratched Rempe game one. And I don't know. You got to let that man play.
Get in there, mix it up with people, man.
He can skate, he can hit, and like we talked about last year, if he can figure out a way to keep his elbows down, because he's much bigger than everybody else, he'll be fine. But the more you play him, the more experience he gets, the more better he's going to get, the better that team's going to be, because you're going to need him in the playoffs. But they're probably going to win the division. They'll be the number one seed. And we'll get to the Lightning. This is kind of a weird team now. So they added Jake Getzel. McDonough got traded back from Nashville. They got Cam Atkinson. They got Gergensons and Connor Geekie. But you guys, they lost Stamkos, Sergachev, Duclair, Dumba, Jeannot, Tyler Mott, Calvin DeHaan, Hayden Fleury, and Austin Watson. Like, those are all guys that'll start somewhere on another team. So they lost quite a bit. But you still got Getzel, Point, and Kucherov. And then you got Hagel, Cirelli, and Atkinson is your second line. Sheary, Paul, and Isemont is your third. And Gergensen, Glendening, and Sheffe. And then Hedman and Radish is your defenseman. McDonough and Chernak and Moser. Like, their third pairing's a little weak. But as long as you got the big guy in net, Vasilevsky.
Hey, man, so what you're saying is that we're going back to the...
You got to play Florida. You got to beat Florida. Right, so that's up to you.
It's doable.
Or up to your Rangers. If you can you get past them, Florida?
I don't know the way they looked yesterday, the other night. It's a little tough, bro. But hey, man, anything's possible. Injuries here, injuries there. You know, anything can happen. But looking at that Florida team and the other night, man, they just like I said, they just look as fast as I don't know what, man. They just
quit playing last week. I mean, they're still in shape.
yeah.
For how long the playoffs went.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they like again, they didn't miss a beat to me. I mean, and Boston just came in there. I don't know what what they was doing, but I don't know if they lost people or did they.
Well, they lost a couple guys,
Yeah.
DeBrusque and whatnot, but it was more of what Florida, same thing they did last year in the playoffs. They just bullied them. They hit them all the time. There was probably 2 or 3 scraps in that game early, and they just imposed their will on them.
So what you think? Who got the better matchup this far? Because it seems like it's a matchup thing. What team, could go toe for toe for this bully team if they're going?
Well, you think of it this way: goaltending is pretty much even, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the defense pairings, and I would say that's close to even, maybe a little bit of an edge to the Rangers. And then you look at the forwards, and I look at Florida, and I see a team that's built for the playoffs, a physical team. And then I see the Rangers, and I see a lot more of
regular
finesse, skill, and not overly physical, not soft. They just don't play physical. Mm-hmm. You have a few guys that, Hedel, Lafreniere, they'll get dirty in Trocheck and whatnot, but they don't go out of their way to hit people like Florida does. Like the way that Florida played the other night, they hit everybody. Mm-hmm. It was like a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, it's crashing.
But I would probably give the advantage to Florida, just because the way they play, the physical style. But that could also be a detriment if they don't meet until the conference final, and you're out there hitting everybody every night, and you get bumps and bruises and beat up,
right,
injured or whatever. That plays a big factor once it comes playoff time. But I would give Florida the edge right now, just the way they play. And then we're going to go to my favorite team on the planet.
Uh-oh. I might have to black out.
My Leafs. Oh, so I kind of like what they did. So they picked up Chris Tanev from Dallas, a defenseman who's very, very good. Then they got Oliver Ekman-Larsson, another defenseman. Mm-hmm. They picked up Anthony Stolarz, a goaltender who's been around and, could be a good backup for you. Then they picked up Lawrence, a good grit guy you're going to need in the playoffs because that's the style you're going to be playing. Then they picked up Max Pacioretty on a player tryout offer, and I believe he signed with them. And then Janne Hakanpää. Now, him, I'm not sure that he's ready to go yet because I want to say he had a knee injury in the playoffs last year. But looking at who they picked up, where did they struggle? Defense and goaltending.
Yeah.
And then they picked up a couple of veterans up front. But, here's what they lost. They lost Bertuzzi to Chicago. Samsonov, the goaltender, went to Vegas. Edmondson, the defenseman, he went to L.A. Lyubushkin went to Dallas. They lost the defenseman Brody to Chicago. Giordano, the defenseman, he's not signed. Klingberg's not signed. And Martin Jones, the goalie, he's not signed. But this roster I like way better than what they've been putting out there the last few years because their defense looks relatively good.
Right.
You got Riley and Tanev, Ekman-Larsson and McCabe, and you got Benoit and Liljegren which I saw somewhere they're trying to move him. Not sure how long he's going to be there. But their biggest thing is, they got the goaltender Wall, who played good towards the end of the season. And then they got Stolarz in the offseason, which isn't bad. And then you look, they got Knees, Matthews, and Marner as their first line. Domi, Nylander, and Yarkrow is their second line. And then they got Robertson, Tavares, and McMahon is their third. And then Cowan, Camp, and Holberg is their fourth line. So I like this roster better than I have, like I said, the last couple, because they do have some good stay-at-home defensemen. They're all three of their top three lines looks good. And I want to say they were blowing up. Yeah, they're beating up on New Jersey 3-1 right now.
Damn.
But I like this roster better than years past for sure. And they could give some teams some trouble in the playoffs now. Because now they got some vets and some gritty players. So we'll see how things go, when we come back in a couple weeks. And then the Vegas Knights. So they picked up Victor Olofsson, I believe fairly cheap. They got Alexander Holtz, Samsonov the goalie. They got Schmidt a goalie, and they picked up Zach Aston Reese. But they lost Marcia Show, like we said, to Nashville. Chandler Stevenson went to Seattle. Logan Thompson went to Washington. Michael Amadio, he went to Ottawa. Mantha went to Calgary. Carrier went to Carolina. And Alec Martinez went to Chicago. So they're a little bit different makeshift, than last year. But I look at this lineup that, okay, so they lost some guys that were pretty good. But you figure you got Barbashev, Eichel, and Olsen as your first line. Carlson, Stone, and is it Dorif? I can't even say this guy's name. Dorifev?
Don't do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to kill it. and then third line is Holtz, Hurdle, and Waugh. And then Colasar, Howden, and Austin Reese is your fourth line. And their D is stout. They got Theodore, Peter Angelo, Hannafin, Haig, McNabb, and Whitecloud. Their biggest thing is, can Aiden Hill play like he did last year and put up the numbers he did last year? But I think they'll be like Edmonton, one of the better teams coming out of the West. For sure.
Gotcha. What else you got on hockey? I have one other question before we move on. Real quick, and Dan, like you said, we got probably just do just the standalone hockey thing because it's just so much, like you said, to tackle.
So many guys moved.
Yeah, so many people.
So much player movement over in the offseason.
Which is a good thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Two things. Just hit us real quick, 3 minutes, 1.5 minutes on it. I don't know if you can, but try to. The Utah Hockey Club, they opened up the other night. That looked like that place was crazy, going wild. Talk to that a little bit about how that's going on.
Okay, so to my man that shouted me out in the comments, hockey can't work in the Midwest. Come on now, that place was packed. It was buzzing, and I liken their arena to Barclays Center.
Small.
It's a little odd shape for hockey,
right?
But if you look behind the nets, it's like they brought in high school bleachers for like 10 rows. And then there's a wall and with a black, what do you call that? Like a
curtain.
Yeah, like a curtain over it. And the same thing on the other side. But if you look in the corners by the face-off dot, the way the angle of the bowl, like the people that are sitting in those seats, they could literally drop the puck on the face-off. They're that close.
Yikes!
Like those. Like I'd pay money to sit in those seats because those are good seats. Like you're in the action, you can hear. They're above the glass, so you can hear all the chirping back and forth when they're talking shit to each other. But they're going to be fine. Like the dude at bottom, he owns the Jazz. He wants to make it work. And basically it's the same team or personnel for both teams, for the Jazz and for the Utah Hockey Club. And, they brought in a bunch of the Phoenix or the Arizona Coyotes personnel. They brought a lot of them with them too. But yeah, there's no doubt it's going to work there. That team, even when it was in the desert, had the chance to be good. They just they paid for contracts of people that couldn't play just so they could get to the minimum of the salary cap.
Right.
And I think this dude, he wants to win. He wants to put a good product on the ice. And I think he's going to spend the money and bring some players in the future to help that team get better than it was last year. It would not shock me if they were close to making playoffs this year, because they got a lot of good young talent with Keller, and the likes. But yeah, definitely hockey can work in the Midwest.
I mean, it's
and the South too. Who won the last 3 or 4 cups?
Well, Panthers, Tampa
State
Bay.
of Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the second question?
Second question about Miss Jessica Campbell. She's assistant coach with the Seattle Kraken. That's she's the first. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's awesome. She's been with the Canadian under-18 team played on some other international teams for them. And it's just because it's a man's sport doesn't mean that a woman doesn't know X's and O's. You know what I mean? I saw at the end of it was towards the end of the game where I think they were pulling the goaltender, and what's she doing? She's running the the whiteboard, saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing. This is where you go if we win. This is where you go if we don't win to get the puck." I'm glad to see it. Hopefully she succeeds, but it's good for the sport.
Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Dan K, the hockey dude. Man, Dan, you got a standing ovation. Nah, he's Dan with hockey, man. Appreciate that, Dan. We'll dive more, like I said, into hockey. We're more than likely, me and Dan's going to have to do he's going to have to do a standalone show and talk more about hockey, because like he said, there's been so many moves going on with the NHL. Hey, Ryan and Mike Mills have joined us. What's up, fellas? What's going on? How y'all doing tonight?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Mike Mills, you must be a happy guy, man. Mike, talk to me, man. Talk to us, man. What's going on, bro?
Man, I thought it was over. We playing with house money. I'm just along for the ride.
Well, we're going to talk about some of the news in the other sports chasers news. The news that we didn't get a chance to talk about, well, we actually kind of predicted. Well, I don't want to say predicted, but I'll just read it here. Hold on for a second here. And this will happen on Tuesday, of course. The Jets, this is from CBS Sports. The link will be in the description, from Jonathan Jones. And it says this: just before he was fired as head coach of the New York Jets, Robert Saleh was seriously contemplating firing offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, sources tell CBS Sports. Jets owner Woody Johnson fired Saleh on Tuesday morning, and in a move that surprised the building. Johnson had never before fired a coach in the season, in mid-season, in his quarter century of owning the team. And Saleh's week 6 of dismissal is the first of this year's coaching cycle. This is one of the most talented teams that has ever been assembled by the New York Jets, Johnson told reporters Tuesday. I want to give this team the most opportunity to win this season. So I feel like we had to go in a different direction. Saleh was 20-36 as a Jets head coach, including this year's 2-3 mark in a season filled with playoff expectations. A home loss in week 4 to the Broncos and a defeat in London to the Vikings sealed Saleh's fate. Sources say Saleh, could have made the move to fire Hackett as early as Tuesday, which is when Johnson ultimately made the decision on Saleh himself. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich takes over as the interim head coach for the Jets as they prepare for an AFC East matchup with the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. He has say on any coaching staff decisions moving forward. Sources say if Saleh had moved forward with firing Hackett, he would have likely installed Todd Downing as the offensive coordinator. Downing was most recently the Titans offensive coordinator before his dismissal following the 2022 season, and he came to the Jets last season at their passing game as a passing game coordinator. I'll say this: we said a whole lot on Monday. We said how the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play well. And as y'all know, Paul Hackett is his man. And
Paul Hackett.
I mean, Paul Hackett's the dad, I believe, to what's his name? To Nathaniel Hackett. To what's the guy's name? I'm sorry, the offensive coordinator. I think Paul's his dad. Nathaniel Hackett, right. That's Paul's his dad. Anyway, Mike. So Nathaniel Hackett is Aaron Rodgers' man. So we all know they got a relationship. Aaron Rodgers he's going to cape up for his man. Aaron Rodgers. Go ahead, Ryan. Good.
No, my bad for intro. He got demoted too today. He's not calling plays no more.
Yikes.
Hackett got demoted today.
So he's the offensive coordinator, not calling plays?
He's not calling the plays.
So who's going to call the plays?
I think the same guy that you said that.
The same guy I just said, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's calling the plays.
What about that guy that used to be for the Steelers?
You can still be a coordinator, but not call the plays.
Nah, I got you. Yeah. I got you on that. But I mean, if you're the offensive coordinator, man, I mean, do they trust? Obviously, they don't.
Why is he the offensive coordinator? He should have never got a job.
Mike, that's my.
I mean, we could check Twin Box. I feel like that's something I set up here. Like, how did he get a job?
Yeah, but again, you can be a coordinator. Like a lot of times, you have offensive coordinators, but the head coach calls the plays. You're just coordinating. You know what I'm saying? You're basically just overseeing.
Yeah, I got you.
The operation. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? The offensive coordinator doesn't always call the plays.
I don't think they should have fired Saleh just yet.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, because the offense is playing bad, and Brett Favre is playing bad.
I mean, not just that. I mean, like
who?
You gave him the lame duck quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? You had the whatevers, and then you had last season where he got injured. So he should have at least got the whole season with Rodgers. If it didn't work out, then you get rid of Rodgers, you get rid of everybody. Get rid of the quarterback, the coach, and the offensive coordinator.
Well, you know what's funny about this is through 5 games with the people that they had quarterbacking last year, they've scored the same amount of points. I think it's 93 points in 5 games. With him back, offensive coordinator he likes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's the funny part. So how was it Saleh's fault that the dude threw 3 interceptions the last game?
And had the Jets won, because they had an opportunity to win that game, I don't think they fired him. I think this is typical Jets thing. They are emotional. Woody Johnson, he's been owning the team, quarter of a century. Go ahead.
This is the first time since 1975 that they fired a coach during this season.
I know. I got you.
That's because Lou Holtz retired and walked out.
Right. But the Jets always do Jets things. We always talk about, Mike, what we always say, the Browns always be Browning, or the Jets always be
Browns. Jets do be Jets. I mean, what do I call the Giants? But the Blue Jets.
The Blue Jets.
So they got to be the Green Jets today.
But if like you said, and me and D-Dubs, I don't know where he went to, but we talked about how the Jets, time after time, how they ruin quarterbacks, and they look, pretty much they put all their eggs in Aaron Rodgers' basket, of course, right? But go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, and again, Kevin, they're not even running the ball. They're not even.
Well, they can't. Have you seen it?
No. They can run the ball, man. Come on.
I think so. Yeah, they can
run the ball.
Now you know I'm Mr. Run the Ball here.
Right, but you have to.
But do you see what they get? Do you see the blocks? Do you see the line?
Bro, they ran the ball 9 times the other game. 9 in a close game.
I agree with Ryan on this one.
They ran the ball 9 times. Sometimes you just gotta establish the run, even if you're not getting any yards. You can't not run the ball. 9 times.
They can't block. But they're not making no space.
I get it, Mike, but you gotta try. You gotta attempt. I mean, nine tries is not enough, bro. Come on.
I agree with you.
Well,
I agree 9 is not enough.
You
but
can't.
Do you see what's up there?
But this is where Rodgers' strength was, right? His strength all these years, his strength was extending plays, not running with the ball per se, just extending plays in the pocket and going deep to Devontae Adams, to Jordy Nelson, to Donald Driver. There's no deep ball there. Everything is in front of him. He can't move. He can't move out the pass rush. He can't.
Very slow.
He used to be. It's not that he's slow. He just can't get out the break because of the Achilles.
No, he's slow.
No.
He's slow.
No, he's not slow. He can't get out the break. How many times have we seen Aaron Rodgers do what Mahomes did with his legs, getting like first downs to kill you? He'll manipulate you with that. He can't manipulate you no more. He can't manipulate the game anymore. And that's what's hurting. There's no play action because you're not even, dude. You have Breece Hall.
I know.
They don't.
I agree with you.
They don't throw screen passes. They don't do none of that stuff. Like,
hey man, the bottom line, man, the Jets is a trash organization. They've been a trash organization for quite some time. Ain't won nothing. They still doing, like you said, Jet things. And I don't. This was a shock. I mean, you had 2-3, and we already getting rid of and let me just be clear. I didn't like what's the Saleh. I wasn't a Saleh fan. Was not a Saleh fan. So even for me, this is a little hasty as far as I'm concerned. But this is what the Jets do.
Yeah,
this is exactly what the Jets do, and they're probably not going to win. I think I see somebody in the comment. Oh, I hope the Jets lose the rest of the game. Yeah, they probably won't win. I guarantee you they're not winning this weekend. Buffalo's gonna go in there and smash them. So
and also too, they're a field goal away from being 3-2. Why are you firing the coach?
I agree.
Because his thing is defense, right? They got one of the best defense. They basically shut down Minnesota's high-powered offense that's been balling. And then the defense, the offense goes out there and poops on themselves. Excuse me.
Yeah, the offense. We talked about it on Monday. The offense kept them. The defense kept them in the game.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
definitely kept them in the game.
The only person that should be getting fired right now was Hackett because of the offense. It's the only person that should have been fired. You brought him in after the disaster at his being a head coach in Denver. You brought him in. Mm-hmm. Just to please Aaron Rodgers. That's
his man.
You bring in Cobb. You bring in
That's his man. In them. This is what they do in the hood, man. They give that's my man. I'm gonna hook him up.
And Devontae Adams,
he's trash, but I'll hook him up.
Much. Devontae Adams is not going to help much.
Oh, but you know what they're caping for, though. You know that. You keep hearing the chirping and all that stuff. I'm with you, Ryan. He's not going to help as much if they don't change the philosophy. And that's why I guess they took the play calling away from Paul. I keep saying Paul, his dad.
You're saying his daddy, man.
was a better coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett.
Daddy ain't got nothing to do with this, Kev. Go ahead, man.
But 9 times running the ball is absolutely ridiculous. Like you said, if you don't establish the run, and Mike, I hear you. They paid a lot of money for this offensive line, and I just think too. Let's just go to these things. I think continuity wise, right? Yeah, he didn't play with them all last year. He played 3 snaps and got hurt, right? Did he spend this much time in training camp with them? I don't think so, right? Yeah. He was doing this thing, and that's the quarterback's thing. That's the organization. That's how they want to rock. That's how they want to roll. That's cool with it, right? So football is a rhythm and coordination thing. You gotta practice and be together. And I think after 5 games, I think that's that's a little hasty, as D-Dub says, of firing the coach. Go ahead, Ryan.
And not only that, nobody fears Aaron Rodgers no more. They don't fear him no more. That's why to Mike Mills' point, they can stack the box or whatever they're doing. They're not scared of anybody. They're not scared of Garrett Wilson. Yeah, Garrett Wilson will get open sometime, but they know he's a sitting duck back there because he can't move. Aaron Rodgers wasn't great being a pocket passer. Aaron Rodgers was good improvising and making stuff happen, changing the cadence and getting the offsides and then going deep after you jump offsides. That's what he's great at. He can't move.
He's slow.
He ain't slow. He can't move. He's not slow.
Oh, bro, he's slow. Yo, man, he can't throw the ball. He can't throw that over the shoulder. He can't. Either he lost it all at one time, or just
that O-line not making it no better. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike.
We had Morgan Moses last year. I don't know how that worked out. See where he at, right? They went and took him back.
Moses or Morgan Freeman?
Whoever it is, Morgan Moses. They right tackle.
Man, I don't know. It's a bad look for the Jets, man. I don't know.
DA's not on. I wish he can be on the comments. He said to me the other day, I'll take Saleh back as a defensive coordinator with the Niners. So as the Niners are playing tonight, man, they said they fired the wrong guy. DA said, yeah, they fired the wrong guy. Ranked 26.
Yeah, ranked offensive line ranked 26, D line ranked 5. So that's what he's saying.
Right, but as the head coach, you can't pick and choose. That as the head coach, you're responsible for the offense and the defense. You just can't say, because he's a defensive guy and their defense is good. Listen, I understand why they fired him. He has a terrible record. So I'm not saying that. It's just you're making him the scapegoat of the situation. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to move on, okay, you can move on. But don't tell me he's the problem.
And especially at 2-3, and you got the Buffalo Bills in here, this thing could change.
And you should have been playing too. They missed a field goal at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
correct.
I mean, I give you the Denver game was not a good look for them. That was an awful game for them because that's the game that they should have won. But even with that game, I think they still. I mean, I think it's a little bit premature for that to pull the plug on this. And excuse me, who's the coach now? Who's the interim coach now? Anybody know? Yeah, that's what I thought. Nobody.
I think he's the defensive coordinator. He was the D coordinator.
I thought you was asking a real question. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Yeah. They see what I'm saying. This is the Jets, man. So,
he's the interim. There's no guy. There's no serious person that would take the job in the middle of the season.
Get Bill Belichick. Man, stop. That's not.
Go get Rex Ryan and bring him back. He been clamoring for a job.
He's auditioning every week. He's auditioning. Right, ask the DA. DA tell me every week the guy looking for a job. So he's auditioning. So.
Rex would take the job right now. That's definitely for sure, man. Man, I like Rex though. Yeah, the Jets keep doing Jet things, man. Let's move on in the news. Another important story. This is also from CBS Sports from Shehan Jeharaja. He says the NCAA Division I Council has voted to shorten the transfer window in football and basketball from 45 days to 30 days. However, the body opted against eliminating the spring transfer window, which was recommended by the Football Oversight Committee. The fall transfer window will be reduced from 30 to 20 days and will start on the day after the college football playoff field is announced. The post-spring window will go from 15 to 10 days as part of the legislative change for the 2024-2025 school year. The dates will be from December 9th to the 28th and from April 16th to the 25th. Excuse me. For men and women's college basketball, the transfer window will open immediately after the second round of the NCAA tournament. Previously, the window will open the day after the March Madness bracket was released. Unlike fall and spring sports, which give opportunities to depart after each semester, winter sports have only one transfer window. Additionally, any schools that fires its coach will automatically trigger a separate 30-day transfer window. That rules remains unchanged. Coaches have pushed for more limits on transfer activity as an attempt to limit roster uncertainty. More than 3,800 FBS football players entered the portal after the 2023 season, with nearly 1/3 coming from the post-spring window. However, only 11 of the top 100 players in the 24/7 sports transfer portal rankings changed teams during the spring. While the Division I Council rejected the proposal now, it could reconsider down the road. The decision comes one day after the House versus NCAA case received preliminary approval. Lost my space there. Received preliminary approval, clearing the way for revenue sharing to begin before the 2025 season. The case is set to receive final approval on April 7th of next year, only 9 days before the spring transfer begins. So that's pretty much it. Hey, they're trying to level the playing field when it comes to the transfers. As I read, like over 3,000 FBS college football players, they entered the portal system. I guess they're trying to get a hold onto us. Well, they're trying to.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Ryan. They're trying to, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good move. They're trying to, manage the portal as best as they can, and have a shorter date, so what you got, what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, so nothing wrong with that. I mean, listen, everybody's new to it. You got to tweak it as you go, right? So, yeah.
Hey, Mike Mills' thoughts on the transfer portal being what it is now.
I mean, of course, they got to regulate it better because it is kind of a free-for-all, and it still is new ground. So, of course, they got to come up with new rules. But I like the portal. I mean, let them transfer. I mean, I like it, but I feel like they need to shorten some of it. Like, I feel like people transfer too many times. I think it should be like 2, and that's it. You might get 2. I don't think you should. Some of these dudes be graduate guys, and they play 2 and 3 years later for 2 and 3 different teams. I don't like that. It's too much. I think you should get 2 transfers at best.
Like the dude from Miami.
Literally.
Well, he had a Kobe
dude, or DJ.
But he's in his 8th season.
Not in his 8th season. He's in his 5th season.
That one dude has played 7 or 8 college seasons.
Not Cam Ward.
Not the quarterback. I think it's a tight end.
Oh, the tight end. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because he got hurt. He got hurt.
8 years.
Yeah, but you got your degree, my boy. Pack it up. Somebody else need that scholarship.
He got hurt. He got hurt.
You got mad degrees. Like, you're done.
It's like he still had eligibility, man. You have to play 4
Man,
games.
he got a PhD, and I respect the hustle, but you're done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mike said he got mad degrees, man.
Tight end.
What else are you in school doing? I hope you got mad degrees. What else are you doing? Because you're not going to the league. You got injury history and you're 27. You're not going to the league.
You got a PhD, fam. Go ahead and get out of here, man. Wrap it up. It's a wrap.
Go be a fireman. Go help somebody with all that strength. What are you doing?
Dang, Mike. I swear, man.
Pack it up.
Yeah, pack it up, man. Yeah, that's all I got here with the news. I wanted to talk about something else, but it'll be too long. We'll get to that next week. Let me go on to Major League Baseball, the Divisional Series. It's both going on in the American and National Leagues. I got on my TV screen here. The Guardians are up 4-3. Looks like in the bottom of the 8th. The Guardians win this game. They tie it up. It'll be 2-2, and they'll go back to Cleveland on Friday. It looks like, be Saturday. Saturday, I guess. It's 4-3. Yep, in the bottom of the 8th, and Detroit has 2 on, and there's 1 out here. But hey, let's talk about this team, man. This is crazy, man. This is from CBS Sports from the AP. New York, Francisco Lindor hit a grand slam in the 6th inning. His latest clutch swing in the storybook season, full of them, and the New York Mets reached the National League Championship Championship Series with a 4-1 victory over the Philadelphia Phillies on Wednesday. Edwin Diaz struck out Kyle Schwarber with 2 runners on to end it as New York finished off the rival Phillies in Game 4 of their best-of-5 division series, winning 3-1 to wrap up a postseason series at home for the first time in 24 years. Wow, it's been 24 years since the Mets won. Wow, that's weird. I want to win it all, and ours will be a team that will be forever remembered. Lindor said, speaking in the interview room with one of his young daughters on his lap, drinking from a Gatorade bottle. He says, "This will be a team that comes every 10 years and eats for free everywhere they go. And I want to do that, and I want to do that, but the job is not done." With tears in his eyes, outfielder Brandon Nimmo embraced Lindor as the Mets poured onto the field in excitement following the final out. The Mets won the game yesterday on 4-1. They advanced to face the winners of the the Padres and LA Dodgers series. I'm gonna give it to Mike Mills. Mike is a diehard Mets fan, man, and
they deserve the cry. They deserve it. As terrible as they've been, I like the resiliency. Like I said, we playing with house money. We wasn't supposed to be here because remember we rerouted halfway through the season last year. We gave up like Verlander and Scherzer. Remember, we're not focusing on making the playoffs. We just rerouted halfway through the season, and then this was the result, which is insane. Like
y'all was terrible in April and May. It was terrible.
Absolutely.
It was nothing in the game. Then they turned it around. I thought they actually was going to fire Mendoza, your manager.
I don't think they should have fired him. I mean, this is year 1, 2? Like he hasn't,
Jets.
Right, so, chill out. But nah, like he ain't been there. He's a new face too. So it's just crazy. The pitching, because our bullpen was horrible all year. The pitching been holding up. We just it's crazy.
And y'all own it. And I said this earlier. I said that the Mets should win the series because they've owned Philadelphia the whole year. I want to say they won 10 out of. I had to double check.
It was close. I think we won like 8, 7 or 8. It wasn't that, but it was like it didn't look. None of the games was really like bad. Like they didn't have us like they normally have us.
Gotcha. It's definitely it's definitely something, man. I'm
something definitely wrong with that Philadelphia team, though. I mean, it's like, where you got Bryce Harper and what's the other kid?
Trey Turner.
Yeah, they got. There's something to be said about that. That's a veteran team, man.
Their bullpen failed them all the games.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, their bullpen failed them. So you got to have pitching. Me and you talked about, the Yankees and that stuff. They mean to turn this into a Yankee thing, but I guess I did. The Yankees,
you did.
They got
just like the Yankees.
But always got to talk about them.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
It's like LeBron.
You got the pitching, man, but if you don't hit, man, the postseason, right? What happens? You go home. So,
but now I'm enjoying David Peterson as a late inning reliever. Like this shit is crazy.
Listen,
he was supposed to be an ace 10 years ago. Now look at him. The boy is in there holding it and getting saves. Like it's crazy.
Listen, I thought your manager was going to hold on last night and be like, because Diaz, I said, oh God, here you go again. And he managed. I was like, why don't we bring Peterson in, man? I was like, but Diaz, he held his own because he got hurt last year, whatever. And Mendoza trusts Diaz to come in and slam the door. And even though he gave up those 2 hits and got into a little jam,
Diaz be looking like Eli Manning out there, man. It's scary. You don't know what you're gonna get. You might get the guy that strikes out them on 10 pitches, and then you might get the one who give up the home run with the bases loaded. You don't know what you're gonna get, man. He's scary.
Man, it's definitely that Diaz ain't here, but we actually talked about in the chat. I'm gonna move on to the other series here, the Dodgers and the Pirates. No, not Pirates.
What?
Sorry, Dan. I didn't do that to
why you doing Dan like that, man?
The 50 Cent. Me for
the Dodgers.
There ain't no way in hell we're in the playoffs. We just a regular season team, bro.
Mookie Betts homer for the second straight night. Shohei Ohtani hit an RBI single, and the LA Dodgers beat Dylan Cease and the San Diego Padres 8-0 on Wednesday night to force a deciding Game 5 in their 10th NL Division Series. Will Smith and Gavin Lux each had 2 home runs, who snapped a 2-game losing streak and now return home for the next matchup between both the NL West rivals on Friday night. We have a bunch of grinders and a bunch of fighters, Betts said after the Dodgers posted the largest shutout win in franchise postseason history. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. The Padres won 10-2 at Dodger Stadium in Game 2 on Sunday night when tempers flared on the field and in the stands. The winners will have home field advantage in the National League Championship Series against the Mets, who will eliminate the Phillies in the NLDS. Listen, this game, man, like I said it this other night. This series, man, if you're a baseball person, watch this series, man, because it's got a lot of everything in it. It's got bat flipping, it's got tempers flaring, and it's got good baseball, and it's got good pitching, it's got home runs.
Oh, you didn't say bat flipping, did you?
Well, you know, some of the people, that was the course of me and DA's discussion when I posted the article in our chat and about Ken Rosenthal basically saying that, you know, he doesn't like the play of the Padres and Manny Machado and all that stuff. And you know, you have some people who are traditionalists and in the words of Ryan, man, you know, guys, we got to evolve. You know, Ken Rosenthal, I mean, you got to evolve, bro. That's what baseball is, man. Baseball, you know, there's some flair now. There's for the dramatics and stuff like that. And if you don't want the opposing teams to bat flip and do all that stuff, what did the Dodgers do last night? They shut the Padres out.
Shut them down.
Shut them down, shut them out, whatever. And that's it. They won't bat flipping on you and all that stuff, man.
Make a statement.
And that the Dodgers did. I was like, wow, the Dodgers shut them up. And the Padres are who they are. And they've been like this ever since Tatis has been there and Machado's been there.
Mm-hmm.
So they are who they are. That's how they play. They play with the swag or whatever. And that's what helps them. What infuriates me sometimes about people, you know, like I said, you got the traditionalists, you know, they don't like that. You know, we have baseball. You should not be bat flipping.
Purists, baseball purists.
Listen, man, they winning baseball. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they out there losing.
Yeah.
So let them have some fun. You want kids to play, right? You want this game to keep going.
And that's my point, Mike.
They need something to see. They need something.
That's my point. That's my point about baseball. Stop poo-pooing on the game. Let the Padres be the Padres. They ain't breaking no rules or nothing like that. And just relax. Just relax. I've enjoyed the series, and it's gonna be something else tonight. I mean, tomorrow night when they play, I don't even know who to pick because they might brawl tomorrow. Who knows what's gonna go on, man? But it's you know, the winner, of course, will face the Mets, and like they said, they will and that'll be the National League Championship Series on that. Anybody got a Yankee update? I don't have it on me. The Yankees and the Royals, they're playing in game
1-0. Yankees are up
1-0. Yeah.
1-0.
Yep. I talked to D-Dubs last night. D-Dubs, go ahead, Ron. You had something? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. So I don't know. I just since my Astros are out, I just want to troll. So
go ahead.
So
go ahead. We here for it, man.
When Aaron Judge gets to the playoffs, he just forgets how to play. That's how
yo, bro. Wait. Hold on. Let me cam up this one. Hold on.
The guy's 1 for 11 with 5 strikeouts, dude.
Right. I swear to you.
Get a hit. Stop worrying about the home run. Just get a hit, bro.
Just get a hit, brother. Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, I'm not.
Just before you said something, that's exactly what I'm about to say. I said, Aaron Judge, stop it now, bro. You need to hit in the postseason. And I actually went over with DA his postseason numbers for the last 5 years. I'll bring it up, like hitting in the low 100s. Yes, maybe something 1 year. He's been not good. Abysmal.
MIA.
You need to trade him to the Pirates. That way you don't have to play in the postseason.
No, we're not doing that.
We'll give you Skeens. We ain't paying him. When his contract up, he's gone.
Yeah. I'll take.
But now, Ryan, you're right. You're right. We got to call it like we see it. Yankee fans, y'all can. Aaron Judge, where you been at, bro? Especially in the postseason, especially the last couple of years. He has been MIA, and I don't know if he's pressing. I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to start getting hits. Go ahead, D-Dub.
And notice the national media. National media has not been saying nothing really, like, you know, hasn't been getting on him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we've seen them get on other people in the past, and it's just like, yo, if you getting that type of bread, you got to be, you know, we need to see some stuff. We need to see some stuff, especially in the postseason. You good in the regular season, I'll give you that, but this is where you make your more money and make a more of a name for yourself in postseason. So, you know, he's struggling right now. Even Giancarlo Stanton was seen and a stolen base.
And a stolen base last night.
My son Juan Carlos.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
The thing is with Judge, man, he's swinging at bad pitches. It's like he's pressing. Like, dude,
absolutely,
stop swinging at balls out of the
strike zones. I mean, he's looking at stuff up high. Yeah,
like get on base.
Yeah, he won his Yankee moment. He's the captain. Remember?
That's fine. You could be the captain and do something, you know, something else. Yeah. But you know,
listen. There's nothing worse in baseball that when I watch throughout the years is when pitchers walk batters. You know what I'm saying? You don't always got to be the guy that's hitting the home run. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on base, make contact, man. Stop. You can't go 1 for 11 and have 5 strikeouts, man.
Yeah, make some contact with the ball. You're right. Yeah. You are absolutely right, Ryan.
Well, I think maybe the part of his problem is like he goes all out in the regular season. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. Maybe if we like shave 20 games off the season, he'll still have some juice for when he gets to the playoffs.
Ryan, he missed last week. So go ahead and
get it. No, I didn't miss it. Somebody's trolling right back.
Yeah. Let me tell you, man. All right, this is not basketball and football.
No, they play double the games.
Yeah, man. They're resting most of the time. You know what I'm saying? You're sick. When you only go up to bat 4 times a game, maybe 5 times a game. Half the time you're rested, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. There's no getting tired in baseball. Maybe a pitcher's arm can get tired, but nah, dudes can go in baseball, man. That's why they have.
I still think they shave 20 games off. No. He'll have the gas.
Oh, there's no getting tired in the WNBA. I just seen it. I'm sorry, I'm switching. I'm sorry, Kev. They go into 7 games. I just seen that. Hold on.
Yeah, they made some changes. I was gonna get to that. Yeah.
So this year, next year.
Maybe this year, dog. How you gonna be this year? The season over, dog.
Season over.
I was gonna say something sexist. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
I'm so glad you didn't.
Now, y'all know what I was getting at.
It's Rachel.
It's Rachel.
Absolutely.
Rachel.
No, it's Rachel. What I was, it was gender bias, but yeah. So you know how they do anyway. So
Daryl, you shame on you for hijacking the baseball segment. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Judge,
Brett Favre.
Go ahead, Kev. Name somebody. Paul Hackett. Go ahead.
Ron James.
Buddy Hackett.
Buddy Ryan. Yeah, who else?
Buddy
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
There you go.
Buddy Lee. Oh man.
Let
me go to well, like I said, enjoy baseball. Looks like the Tigers, they got him out at the play. They got he's safe. So they're up by 2. The Guardians up by 2. College football, real quick before we go to the WNBA. These are some of the games that are going down this week. South Carolina at Alabama. Go ahead. Somebody said something. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying big week. You good.
Yeah, big week. South Carolina versus Alabama. Missouri against UMass, Clemson, Wake Forest, Penn State, USC. I think that's a good game. Texas and Oklahoma, another one. Stanford and Notre Dame. Purdue versus Illinois. Cal versus Pitt. Dan, what you got for Cal? Arizona versus BYU. Mississippi State against Georgia. Florida versus Tennessee. Ohio State versus Oregon. That's gonna be. I think that's probably gonna be the game of the day. Ole Miss versus LSU, Iowa State versus West Virginia, Kansas State versus Colorado, Boise State versus Hawaii, and that rounds up the top 25. So this looks like a week. DA's not on, but looks like a week you probably need to stay in and actually watch a couple of games because some of the games are going to be good, man. So don't run your errands on Friday night or get them delivered or whatever the case may be. And stay in and watch a little college football on Saturdays. It's going to be really good, man. So hey,
also,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, too, a team to watch that's outside the top 25, but they beat UNLV last week.
SMU.
It's Syracuse. Watch out for Syracuse. Syracuse got a good team, man. Syracuse has a good team. So they had the quarterback from the portal. Syracuse is not ranked, but they just got finished beating a top 25 team. I believe they're 4-1 now. Watch out for Syracuse getting into the top 25 and trying to string some wins along. So looking at them too.
I was talking about because I think SMU did crack the top 25. Yeah, we actually talked about them on Monday night and how we talked about the how they got the death penalty a couple of decades ago and where they violated some NCAA violations and now they've come.
Was it Eric Dickerson, right? Or not Eric Dickerson, but Eric Dickerson played there.
Well, he played there, but I think
it wasn't there in that time.
It's something. I'm glad that they're back. The organization is back. Ryan, real quick, we didn't get your take on the Cal Miami thing, the targeting. Always make sure I make some notes, especially if we miss your thought. You didn't think it was targeted?
No, I did not think it was targeted. One, because he's not defenseless. If he would have slid or gave himself up, yes. But you can tell when the defender lunged, the guy was still running, and he's running at top speed. So you could tell he led with his arms a little bit, and he did make contact with the helmet, but it kind of was like the shoulder area. It wasn't like a direct hit to his helmet. I thought it was a good no call. To be honest with you, I just thought it was just a tough football play for a player who was a runner and not a defenseless quarterback or a defenseless player trying to catch a pass in the middle. He's running trying to get the first down. So, and let's be honest, guys. I mean, there's going to be some contact with the helmet. It's connected to your shoulder and your arms. When you're doing this, there's going to be some contact. And I think and then you can tell after he did hit the guy, you can see him kind of like push his arms out a little bit. So it wasn't like a direct launching and just completely just decleating the guy. So I thought it was a good call and a great comeback. Holy smokes, that was a great comeback.
And so I said that on Monday night. I said, Cal people, you can't say that this call cost you the game.
No,
because you was up by 25 points.
Yeah.
Shame on you for not holding on to the lead and letting the refs or whatever the case may be. You're saying, hey, hold on to the lead though. Go ahead, Ron.
Right, and not only that, on the play when the last possession where the Canes scored, they give up like a 65-yard bomb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. on a blown coverage, and then like 2 plays later. The Canes got called for a questionable personal foul. They wouldn't let the guy get up, and he was just trying to kick his way out and kind of extended his leg, and they called the 15-yard penalty. And the next play, that's when Cam Ward did his magic and threw the little flare screen out to the running back, and he got the first down anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's on you at that point. You know what I'm saying? It was what I think it was like third and 23.
It was third and long. For what it's worth.
I'm talking about the with the targeting situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like third and like 23 yards, and the guy's just running like, I mean, he's literally running like he's Bo Jackson. So you're allowed to get hit in that situation.
Bo knows.
like I said, if the guy tried to give himself up, try to slide, or what have you, or he's in the pocket and then you deplete the guy or whatever. Nah, man, it's football, guys. I mean, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have some leniency with that. I don't think it was a complete targeting, like he
Right.
tried to take the guy out.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I thought it was a good no call.
Okay. Well,
Or a good call on the field, because on the field they called it was no targeting, and they reviewed it. And still came back and confirmed no targeting. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. So that's that in college football. Like I said, a lot of good games this week, this weekend. So make sure you check it out. You get a chance, and we'll come back on Monday and we'll talk about it on Monday as looks like the Tigers are trying to rally back. There they got, well, what is it? 1 out. Yeah, 1 out. It's 5-3. Guardians in the bottom of the ninth. Well, let's go on to the WNBA. Yes. Ryan, what you got for us? WNBA, we got the Liberty and we got the Lynx. You called it, bro.
Yes.
You called it, man. Take it away, man.
Liberty and the Lynx. We got a rematch of the Commissioner Cup where the Lynx actually beat the Liberty. So it's going to be an exciting series. The Lynx had to go to 5 games with the Connecticut Sun on Tuesday. So there might be some layover. So I know the game is tonight. They started off very slow, but they cut the lead to 8 at halftime. They were down by like 20, and they cut the lead to 8 at halftime. So we should have a good second half going. I think it's going to go 5, and I think the Lynx are going. The Lynx are going to win it in 5 games against your New York Liberty. It's gonna be tough, but I think the Liberty's gonna win this game. But I think the Lynx will get game 2 and get 1 game at home and go back home and have a barn burner of a game. And Nafisa Collar will be your MVP of the WNBA Finals. So that's what I'm going with. I think it's the Lynx's year. Again, take nothing away from the Liberty. They've been awesome. They knocked out the 2-time champs, Aces with Asia. So man. So a lot of stuff going down. Also too, we're gonna have the expansion draft next season, because the Golden State Valkyries, they had the 5th pick in the draft that was announced today. They have the 5th pick in the draft, and there's some free agents. Watch Kelsey Plum. I think she wants to have her team on. You know what I'm saying? She already has the 2 championships. I get it. But I think she wants to go somewhere and be. You know what I'm saying? The number 1 or number 2 option. So watch Kelsey Plum in free agency. Good.
That is so refreshing. If that's what she wants to do, that is so refreshing. I think you know why I'm saying that.
To go play point guard and not pass somewhere else.
I'm just saying, the culture of things, especially with the guys. That's admirable that she wants to do her own thing, and if that's what she
that's one of the rumors that she wants to kind of get more, make it her team. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't shock me if she went to Golden State.
Yikes.
Valkyries. And they pick up and I think each team will be able to protect 5 to 6 players on their roster. And then everybody else is, you know what I'm saying, they can pick from.
Any notables who you think might not be protected?
Oh, that's a good one, man. I'll come back. I'll do some homework and some research on that and come back to you on that. But I do think Kelsey Plum is going to be one of the top free agents. And I think she might end up there. Yeah, man. So it's gonna be a good. Like I said, they have the 5th pick. We're gonna see what happens with the draft lottery. And the big get is Paige Buckets from Connecticut. So so we'll see that. And shout out to D Dubs. He alluded about the WNBA making changes to the playoff format next year. They're actually going to 44 games next year instead of 40. So they increased to 4 more games next year. And the first round will be 1-1-1. I was hoping it would be. I was hoping it was going to be best of 5.
Yeah.
Go 2-2-1, but they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep it
3 games
at 3 games, but it's gonna be 1-1-1. And the NBA Finals, the WNBA Finals, like D-Dub said, is going to the best of 7. So that's
going to be 3-5-7.
Huh?
The round, okay. The first round's 3. Second round will be 5, or is that
Yeah.
going to be 3?
Yes.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, I like
3-5-7.
is cool.
Exactly, Mike Mills. Yeah, 3-5-7. So first round, yeah, because remember the top 2 seeds get buys.
right.
Yeah. So
I can stomach that a little bit better. I
no,
mean,
absolutely.
If you're not going to do 5 games in the first round, if you're going to do the 3, if you're going to do the 3 games, the 1-1-1 works out because the other team, because that was my gripe. I said,
you and Dan, yeah.
I was like, damn, the lower seed don't get 1 home game. Jeez.
And not only that, right? If the lower seed steals a game at home, now they have the last game on their court. In
their building, yes.
Yeah, and they're the lower seed. It just didn't make any sense to me, right? So in either way, how they wanted to do that didn't make any sense. Again, so they're going to change that. I was hoping it would have been just make it best, 3 out of 5, but that's fine. It'll be 1-1-1, and we'll get a 7-game WNBA Finals, 7-game series.
That's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up, man. Anything else, Ryan, before we get out of here?
Nah, man, that's it, bro. Oh, go ahead, Dan. What's up, brother?
Go ahead, Dan. Dan, what you got?
No, to fuel a little fire to your rumor with Plum, the Valkyries hired Natalie Nakase as their head coach from Vegas. She was the assistant. She's the assistant in Vegas.
Yes. Oh, very good. Yeah. She's been one of the top assistants, man. In the league. So that's a good point. Very, very, very astute, Dan. Great point, man. I didn't even catch that. But yeah, hey, you got something there, man. I think
there's a little fuel there.
Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And Kelsey Plum, man, like she can carry a team. She has that kind of swagger where, you know what I'm saying, she was a baller in college, number 1 pick in the WNBA. So she has the moxie, man. She has the moxie, the grit, the swag, and the game to be a first option or a second option.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Dan was some investigative.
Good call. That's a great call.
That's good. That's what's
I'm
up,
more
man.
excited for it now. I would love to see it. To see that.
Definitely, man. That she's got the 2 championships. She's like, all right, cool. I want to venture out my own. I want to be. Go ahead.
Right. Oh yeah, and it's the same with Chelsea Gray. She won a championship with the Sparks, with her and Candace Parker. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? And then she went to the Aces, and so it's sort of a similar situation. She was kind of wanted to get her own team in a sense. I mean, nobody knew. I mean, everybody knew Asia was a baller, but nobody saw superstardom with Asia. I mean, everybody knew she was going to be really good. She's number 1 pick, and we get it. But she's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, they pretty much run a 3-guard rotation in Vegas with Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and Kelsey Plum. So it's kind of hard to get to get a rhythm, when it's 3 guards, and then Chelsea dominates the ball because she's,
right.
Dan, the point guard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it would be a good look for the league if Kelsey Plum does go to Golden State. Yeah, shout out Dan, man, for that. For that.
I was just doing my little investigating on
that. Absolutely, man. That was
checking out the score.
Yeah, no, that's excellent, man. Excellent call on that.
Has Chicago honed in on getting a coach? What's going on with this guy?
I read something about that. So I don't. They haven't said if they have any candidates yet, but I read something. The GM came out and said that they were looking for like toughness or something. I'm like, it doesn't get no tougher than Teaspoon. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So like you said, man, there's something there, you know, with that firing, man. So hopefully, you know, we'll get to the bottom of it and what really happened, you know, because
if Ryan DeSouza was the general manager of the Chicago Sky, who would you want to pick? Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I am.
Who would I want to pick?
If you could.
If I could.
He would put Teaspoon right back.
I'm trying.
You put Teaspoon.
Okay, bring back Teaspoon, man.
Go back to Teaspoon.
I would have to get a coach who can coach bigs, because their two best players are now going to be bigs, and it's not even guaranteed that Candy Carter even comes back. She's a free agent.
She's a free agent also.
She's a free agent also. So right, so you know, so oh man, I would take the guy who was with Connecticut first, and then he went to the Sparks and got fired. He got fired by the Sparks this year.
He just got fired by the Sparks this year, right?
Yeah. I think his name Miller, Coach Miller, I believe.
Dan.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. I will look it up.
Yeah.
But Teaspoon put it back in there, right?
Yeah, go get.
Yeah, we're looking for what we just fired. How much does that make sense?
Yeah, man. Because it made no sense to fire in the first place. You traded your best shooter. Then Reese got hurt. Camilla missed the first 12 games of the season or something. I mean, like, what'd you expect?
Man, the Lynx went on a 20-5 run, man. They are back in this thing, man. Wow.
I know they were down by 20 at one point. They cut it to 8 at halftime. So what's the score now?
It's 40-9, 47 Lynx. They went on a 25 run.
Kurt Miller.
Yeah, Coach Miller. Yeah, I would think
49-47 Liberty. Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, Coach Miller wouldn't be a bad hire, man. Like, he's a player's coach. Yeah, and he's good with X's and O's. That was the thing too. He basically came out and said that
I heard that. Yes,
that Teaspoon wasn't good with. He didn't say it, but basically he said that that's what he's alluding to. That she didn't make adjustments. She was bad. They were bad coming out of half times. They were bad out of timeouts. So basically, she didn't know her X's and O's, and she was a first year player, a first year coach with no coaching experience. So I mean, but if you have two rookies, right, and you're trying to groom those rookies, it was a perfect situation. Like, why would you get off that, especially when the two rookies love her?
Yeah, but to my question, my investigative skills going here, but. If you knew that though, right? Chicago, if you knew she never coached anywhere or anything like that, then why? That's all my question. If you're gonna ding her for experience and X's and O's, then why hire her in the first place? That was my thing, because I heard that too. I say, well, that sounds kind of crazy.
Well, no, I get it, but I get it, but maybe it's a situation where, okay, we think we made a bad decision hiring her from the get-go. So let's just cut ties now, instead of, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You know, so I think that's what it was. They weren't satisfied with the job she did on that side of the ball, or in that aspect, as far as being a player's coach and good for the locker room and building up your players. She's excellent. She had a great relationship. I think she was when she was assistant coach in New Orleans, her and Zion had a great relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. So, she's, but I guess they thought that her coaching was lacking.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. He is Ryan DeSouza with the WNBA. Real quick NFL question. Mike Mills, y'all gonna beat the Commanders this weekend in the DMV series. I call it the DMV Super Bowl. DMV Bowl
series. They just got good, and yes, we're gonna beat them.
Mike said, "Little brother, y'all ain't been good in so wild. No, this is not even worth it." So okay, I got you.
I mean, it should be competitive, but like we gonna win the game. It's gonna look bad, but we gonna win.
Okay, yeah, that game is at 1 o'clock at M&T Bank Field in Baltimore, Maryland. The Commanders in Washington, man. Hey, great show tonight. Great show tonight. We had a lot of hockey. We had a lot of other things going on. WNBA, baseball talk, and all that talk. And yo, if you want the real sports talk here, man, no hot takes, none of that stuff. Y'all need to holler at us. Like I said, yo, we're so close to 3,000, man. Hey, tell a friend that tells a friend and tells a friend and tells another friend, and click and subscribe to this YouTube channel, to the Sports Chasers podcast channel, man. So thank you guys for all that's watching, all that chimed in tonight, that hung in there with us tonight. We appreciate you so much. Those that are on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, thank you so much, man. Hey, you know what we do at the end of the show? Part shots. I'm going to start off with the hockey dude. What's up? Well, $5. Go ahead, just cash app to me, bro. I'm sorry, you do PayPal. Go ahead and send me that.
Yeah, okay. No, great show. Shout out to DA and Eric. Missed you guys. Hope to see you next time. But no, that's about it. Good to see everybody. Good chat.
Gotcha. He's Dan. Mills, what you got for us, brother? Words of wisdom.
Nothing major, man. Oh my God, what is wrong with Seattle's offense? But besides that, good show. I'm happy for everybody that tuned in, spent their evening with us. See you Monday and next week. You know it. Thank you, Mike. Ryan, what you got for us, sir?
Man, awesome show. We hit some great topics. NBA's right around the corner. WNBA Finals is here. So, and also too, man, shout out to everybody in Florida affected by the hurricane. I don't mean to be all, political and stuff like that, or, but
it's fine. Man, I said something earlier. Yeah, I said something.
But blessings to all the people, man. And speedy recovery for all the territories that was hit, man. It's just, unfortunate. So, blessings out to them.
Yep. Peace up, blessings up. D-Dubs, what you got?
Yo, nothing too heavy, man. Good show as always. So everybody click, and subscribe. That's all I can say, man. So we can get to that 3,000. That'd be great.
You know it. Celebration in order. I don't have anything heavy. I love sports. I love doing this. And this October, there's everything that's on. Shout out to where you can do multi-screens or whatever, because my screen got 5 boxes of sports on there between the WNBA, between the Yankees and Seattle looking like they can't do anything against the Niners. It's a good time for sports. Hockey is back, full of action in their young season. Like Ryan said, the NBA is about to start up. I think Milwaukee and the Lakers are playing a preseason game. I think their season will be starting here in another week or two, for real. So, hey, man, if you love sports, enjoy your sports, man. But hey, we missed the DA tonight. Well, DA was on for a second. He was doing something, but he was in the comments. Shout out to DA. Shout out to E. He couldn't be with us tonight. Also, shout out to all those again in the comments. Thank you so much. Those in YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. We're on. Looks like everything platform that we can be on. And we're trying to do this thing. We're trying to grow this thing, man. So we appreciate those that's on the journey, man. But listen, we're going to get on out of here. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator. For Darryl D. Warren, for Dan, the hockey dude, for Ryan DeSouza, our NBA and WNBA guy, and Mike Mills, and for the Dorian, the DA in his absence, and for James, Eric, the angry one, Warren, in his absence, man. This is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good. Y'all be great. Be blessed. Hey, we'll catch you Monday night for Monday Night Football Blitz.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.
This month.